You showed up at a bad time. Word of advice, give a wide berth to the governor's manor. Giatta's about to tear that poor man a new one. Well, I hope you have a stomach for profanity.
Huh. A woman shouting profanity at leadership? Reminds me of home.
She came storming up the hill with a wheelbarrow full of spoiled crops. Then the shouting started.
Animancers fighting? This I have to see.
This isn't the first time Giatta's put the governor in his place, but it might be the last. You could do a lot worse than Giatta, but she can be a bit confrontational. The governor's manor is on the far side of town. You can't miss it. Just follow the sound of foul language.
I was hoping to learn some local curses.
Looking forward to seeing what it looks like when animancers fight.
Yeah, I pretty much brought that playground down by myself.
Ah, the Emperor's envoy. Come to interfere in Stilgarrote business again? Certainly not. Besides, I have no more business in Fjord. If you're here to speak with Vidaro, I'm afraid you'll find the governor is quite beyond reason. These Valians and their love of animancy. If their experiments are affecting Adirian interests, this is our business. And when the time comes, Stilgarrote will be ready to ensure the safety of those interests. Barter for peace, prepare for war. We all have our part to play, envoy. Until later.
She's as subtle as a broadside.
Does subtle mean something different outside of Solace?
Genuine healing, please. Purest in all of Eora.
Empty again.
Seems that way.
Vidaro says the current crop looks promising, though.
How can he know that? He's not a farmer.
Be patient. He hasn't steered us wrong before.
Rejuvenate and revitalize your personal essence.
If only we had these in the tusks.
Can I interest you in some claveberries or Barrett's bells, perhaps? Welcome to Poria in Velino, the finest legitimate apothecary of Emerald Stair. ingredients are fully stocked.
Have you heard? Giatta's causing trouble at the governor's mansion again.
You must admit she has a point. We should do something about the Dream Scourge. Not simply wait for it... to pass?
Be careful with that kind of talk. The governor has ears all over town.
Would you care for a refreshment? If you are looking for sanctuary, you have found it. The Gifted Magpie is a house of calm, rational discussion. We have only 2 rules of conduct. Maintain dignity and speak in a soft tone of voice. To put it gently, yes. Giatta Castel is giving our governor a piece of her mind, loud enough to rattle the windows. Animancers are miracle workers, but their work breeds obsession, rivalry, and bitter disagreement. Their anxiety keeps me in business. This tea house is where troubled minds come to approach problems from a quieter angle. Regrettably, we are out of tea. My stockpile is exhausted, and the harvest has not kept up with demand. We have other goods for sale, if you care to peruse them. Trinkets I have collected over the years.
on, come on. My invention is guaranteed to
Careful! You'll get thrown. We're already thrown. Really? You, my friend, need some water. Giatta, what's the meaning of this?
Look at these crops. Look at your city. The Dream Scourge is laying waste to our home.
There is no Dream Scourge in Emerald Stair.
The land begs to differ, and I can prove it.
We can discuss this in private.
We are discussing it now. How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The Dream Scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh my goodness. Are you a godlike? In that case, you're right on time.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Tempers are high, but I don't see any assassins. Yet.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion.
As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Ha! Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dream Scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now, our farms. Then there's no time to waste arguing with bureaucrats.
We definitely agree on that.
I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the Dream Scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust animancy as his father did.
As usual, Giatta never misses a chance to slander me. I don't ignore her concerns, only her methods.
And you still do nothing. Before we can deal with the Dream Scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Must be nice that all the arguing isn't about you, for once.
I'm just trying to stop Giatta from hurting herself. Animanzia is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark. I see you're unfamiliar with Animancy. You don't appreciate just how dangerous that could be. Are you going to tell him about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dream Scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart. If I don't have your trust, I am determined to earn it. Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Giatta.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Giatta Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Messiverno.
Whoa, you're banishing her for that?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Giatta is an outcast.
It's a bit too soon to tell.
Governor, this is unacceptable. Your father would have kept this community together at any cost.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Messiverno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west by the workshop.
I'll find us another bedroll.
Ado! Welcome to my fine establishment, amico. Well, I was not expecting such an esteemed guest in my humble workshop. Are you in need of any weapons or armor? The roads haven't been safe as of late. Ado! Welcome.
That did not go as I had planned.
What did you think would happen when you confronted him so?
Well, my first idea was to mess up his house. Maybe break a window or two.
Perhaps I should thank you for showing restraint.
I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Giatta, some manners, if you please.
Why start now?
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego. What does he know? He isn't even an animancer.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior Missiverno, I'm hardly even an animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone. We'll have fewer resources to work with, but anything's possible. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want, on my terms. The Dream Scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long. In a way, I do. I have plans for this island, and they don't involve the Dream Scourge. But that's a story for another day.
Your parents would be proud to see such tenacity.
Anyway, listen to us babble. Let's talk about you. I never expected to see an Nadiran envoy here. You've got a lot of guts showing your face in a town full of animancers. Likewise, they should be educational for us both. Our first order of business is the Dream Scourge, but I'm also curious about you. There aren't many godlike left these days. Wouldn't that be a coincidence? I only bring it up because Animancy might offer us some insight into your nature. Keep an open mind. While I pack up my belongings, you can help me by... I just realized this is the end. I have to leave your Missiverno. Forever.
You may not see it from this vantage, my dear, but you have outgrown these walls. I always knew this day would come, just as I knew how much it would pain you. Please, just leave. That's all I ask.
Quilici, I will make you proud. I promise.
Once again, you missed the point. You have made me proud, Giatta.
Thank you. I'm ready. Well, not ready. We have a few loose ends to tie up first. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast. I hope so, because we're running out of options. Manto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Elia Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial, but useful. She lives in a cottage southeast of town. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fior. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name, and they'll tell you what they know about the Dream Scourge. I'd rather not speculate until we have more data. If you have questions, I'm sure the others can answer them. We're about to make history. But first, research.
Guessing she's not much of a hunter. Might want to get extra rations next time we go shopping.
Godlike, Imperial Envoy, Research Assistant. Who knew?
Ado!
Confounded machine.
Oh, I heard there was a new arrival, but I didn't expect a godlike. Welcome to our modest workshop. Giatta, what a loss. I owe that young woman more than I could ever repay. Unfortunately, I cannot do a lick of research while my equipment is underpowered and overworked. Yes, her theory of the dream scourge, I'm quite familiar. What I need is a stronger power source. We can't make something out of nothing. We're still limited by our resources. I could use a large single block of Ultra, but harvesting it is difficult in this environment. Oh, wait. One of our rangers reported that an Adragon recently died in a western grove. An Adragon's heart can hold an immense amount of essence. The grove is to the west, across the chasm. You can't miss it. The rangers say a Delamgon queen holds court there. You may be able to retrieve it without violence, but most Delamgon in these parts are hostile to Keith. So you can understand why none of us went rushing over there to find it when we heard the Adragon had died. Still, Delamgon queens can be reasoned with, so if you want to get the heart peacefully, try not to kill her guards. Do be careful. Emerald Stair is not itself these days.
If you can convince her to hand it over, I'll be more than impressed.
The Adra is healthy. It's the essence I'm concerned. And about.
This again. You're beginning to sound like Giatta.
Have you ever stopped and listened to her? She might be onto something.
I'm sure her mother and father were onto something, and look what happened to them.
What do you think of Giatta's theory?
Well, my experiments have been a little
unpredictable? Like the essence has no sense of direction. How do you know? We should talk, but not here.
I have to do something. I can't let anyone else discover this.
Right, explain it to me again.
Imagine a river of essence. It feeds our crops, enriches the soil, and fuels our experiments. So where is the source of the river?
Ado!
Oh, it's you.
Envoy.
Part of me loves seeing nature reclaim these ruins. Another part thinks nature needs to calm itself. Quiet as the depths.
Watch the left. Right. One for you. That's it for me.
On sync!
Be right with you. That's all of them.
no expert, but that looks like poison.
This one's mine. Watch this. That's one for us.
Trail goes through the ravine and into the glade. Careful where you step. Look at that. After you, envoy. Yeah.
Right behind you.
It's like nature shaping these ruins into something. Like a shrine. For who?
You may approach me, godlike. Ah, a welcome visitor. It has been so long since one of your kind has walked in this grove. I mean one from the land, your kind. But why have you come here? A curious thing for Kith to want. Even one as special as you. It belonged to one who tended this grove for longer than I have been here. Sickness changed them, as it has recently changed so many creatures in these woods. It no longer recognized us as their kin. We had to stop them before their madness damaged the land. But it is over now. All that remains is their heart. Our kind has no need for such remembrances. It would cause us no pain to part with it. Take it, and go in peace.
I can't believe you pulled that off. Now, let's get out of here before she notices my wood pistol grip.
For an Adiran, you're very resourceful, and a more than capable companion for poor Giatta. Very few, save for old Quilici, and he's like a father. Now that I've got the heart, my thirsty invention will drink deeply of its essence. All that's left to do is calibrate it. First things first, let's have a look at your soul. I'm going to ask some questions to induce a metaphysical quiver. No, not to worry, just testing your reflexes. Let's start with an easy one. You wake up on a beach, looking up into the sun. Your hands are covered in blood. It's less of a question and more of a stimulus. As long as you're honest, there's no wrong answer. All right. Let's try some word association. Tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Pendulum. Chrysalis.
A spark ignites a flame. An idea ignites a war.
Hello? You still with me? No, we should stop. This has gone far enough. Let's go over your results. Your soul is like a piece of sea glass. All the edges are smoothed down. Quite beautiful, really. Your godlike nature is a marvel to behold. Not to besmirch a colleague, but watchers aren't the most reliable sources. What I see is something entangled about your soul. An outside presence that both is and isn't a part of you. It's old, dark, and rather tricky to pin down. Very interesting. The stress of war can leave a mark on the soul, but this is different. Quite different. Fascinating. Thank you for getting my machine calibrated again. But you came for Giatta's theory of the dream scourge. Between the two of us, she's on to something. Our farms are in great peril. The essence has been drained from the land. Diverted, like the flow of a river. Exactly. And if I know essence, it can't have gone too far. All I can tell you is keep looking. You'll find what you're after. As much as I hate giving people bad news, that's all I have. Please give Giatta my fondest regards.
Keep looking, huh? I'm getting a bad feeling about what we'll find.
Yeah, I'll be honest. He lost me when we started talking about souls. What did I miss?
I really don't think you can deny that everything wrong with Eora.
You're the first godlike to come through in, well, I can't remember how long. I hope that's a good sign. I'll take what I can get. If the gods don't bless us with a harvest soon, this market will be empty come winter. What are you talking about? I thought the Dream Scourge was a myth. Outsider lies, that's what the governor says.
Strange that what the governor says is so different from what you see with your own eyes.
If you bring no good tidings, I'll thank you to be quick with your business. We've had enough misfortune of late.
I don't see what's the problem.
If you can see, I doubt
boy. Well, that was interesting, right? The woman arguing about the crops failing? Standing up for what you believe against authority. I can respect that. Of course, my method would have been run away under the cover of night, never to return, but yeah, this works for her. I don't know. In my experience, it's always the snake you don't see that bites you. Anyway, there's clearly more going on here than a bunch of animancers sitting in dusty labs doing whatever they do all day. Beyond that, nah, I can't help you. Call me when you're back to facing real danger. Right, changing the subject. Thanks for talking.
You know, I've heard dueling is popular in the Valian republics. You wouldn't think a public argument could feel as brutal, but I'll be damned if Giatta didn't draw blood. I wish I could say the same. Living landers can be contrarian and combative. That's what sends a lot of us here in the first place. But it's still hard to swim against the tide with your own people, especially when it means getting them to face a hard truth. You can't mount an attack if you're questioning every detail of the battle plan. But what if you see you're charging into a trap? That's what I admire about Giatta. She knows who she is and what she believes. She's got more clarity and conviction than I had at her age.
She has more clarity than you have now.
Hey, I am a willing victim of my own delusions.
Sometimes that just makes it easier.
Hey, don't worry. We're talking about Giatta's situation.
Right. Like, what did you think I was talking about?
Anyway, this can't be an easy time for Giatta, but I'm glad to have her on our side.
The Adra stirs, a crackle of light in a withered field. We had not considered this. Murmurs of madness, fright. Our touch cushions you like a shell. We wilt, we gnaw with hunger now. What has come of this place? A hand of generosity, or a gauntlet of steel? We feel them. They bend and hone the essence of the earth. They draw from our veins like a well. What are these rituals? A new tongue, an unfamiliar name. A harvest grows, the dead rise. What do they hope to achieve? Touch the flame and see. They build walls in their hearts. Why do they not share what they make? Adir sleeps across the sea. They are not troubled by the laws of Kith. What do you say? Fire that burns the forest, feeds the soil with its ash. We have learned much. Dream of soaring wings in your repose.
Envoy, a pleasure as always. Giatta Castel wants my professional opinion. What an honor. I have a few theories, but no firm conclusions. I have to ask, is it true? Did Vidaro kick her out of town? Especially when a renowned animancer is shouting at the top of her lungs in the streets of Eora. Very well. I'll tell you what I know about the Dream Scourge. But first, I need some help around the farm. I'm up to my ears in chores around here, and the Revenants can only do so much. They can't do complicated tasks, you see. Anyway, I'm afraid the time has come to put down poor Silvo. Silvo is one of my Revenants. My oldest, my favorite, and the pride of my flock. Someone needs to put the poor fellow out to pasture. And I just don't have the heart to do it myself.
Well, it's already dead. That's the hard part done right there.
When a Revenant goes bad, there's only one option. Final death. And poor Silvo's time has come. Silvo is on a strict diet, but I suppose he could have gotten into the crops when my back was turned. You never know with these rascals. Thank you for understanding. You can find Silvo in the barn. He's blocked the door somehow, but the window should be open. Just be gentle with him. He's a good boy.
So, we're killing a Revenant then? She just couldn't come out and say that?
And this is why I don't take pets.
Yeah.
Who's ready for more?
My farmhands are very affectionate. Feel free to pet them if you like. Poor Silvo. He was a bright young revenant, but a very old man. Thank you for giving him peace. So, the Dream Scourge. I've been keeping an eye on the readings from my fields. This plague, as we know it, is a recent development. But I believe whatever causes it is older by far. Maybe even as old as the living lands. The exotic plants and animals, the twisted landscape, the Dream Scourge. They have a common ancestor. There's something about the essence in the living lands that's different from anywhere else I've seen. And end up like Giatta. No, thank you. The corpses, they need me. Not to get too superstitious, but in these troubled times, the arrival of a godlike is no coincidence. You are meant to be here. Toward what end, only you can say. Seems a little far-fetched. Then again, what isn't these days? You're a godlike, so anything is possible. Perhaps your nature will grant you more answers. Well, I'm happy to give her some good news for a change. You and Giatta are going to shake things up. As for me, I'll be keeping a close eye on my flock.
Oh, and thank you for the nightmare fuel. I really have been sleeping entirely too well lately.
I'm remembering why people find this place unsettling.
Yeah. Yeah.
The great mystery is, are godlike blessed?
Neither. They just are. Anything else is speculation.
Ah, I hate speculation. I want answers.
Remy, look what I found. A genuine godlike.
Do you think they can hear us?
Let's find out. Hello, me, Yvette. You friend? Remy, take a note. The endangered godlike's vacant gaze betrays an unquenchable thirst for violence. We heard that Giatta partnered up with an outsider, but I had no idea you were a godlike. Fascinating.
It's just that we've never met a godlike before. This is a big day for us.
Giatta must have sent you to be our test subject. She knows how we adore your kind. Satisfy our curiosity and we'll give you everything Giatta needs to finish her research. Deal? We want to know about the godlike, of course. You're the first one we've encountered in the wild.
Let's begin the examination. If you could choose, who or what would you be in your next life? Next time you go around the wheel, you might not get so lucky.
Who wouldn't? My turn. Some would call you blessed. Others would call you cursed. The fact remains, you were touched by the gods. Wouldn't you say that you owe something to the rest of us? It's a simple question. You have a fragment of a god inside of you. All we have are silent, unsympathetic gods, and a lifetime of unanswered prayers. So, you believe we need your help. Interesting.
Oh, I thought of another. We all know that godlike can't reproduce. How do you plan on leaving a legacy after you're gone? Oh, didn't anyone tell you? On second thought, forget I asked. I think that covers everything. Thank you for that brilliant insight, godlike. You're a credit to your dwindling kind.
So, Giatta wants to know all about the Dream Scourge, yes? Such has been her research of late. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
There's no cure for the Dream Scourge, much in the way that there's no cure for an avalanche.
Giatta will be interested to learn that the Dream Scourge cannot just be studied in a lab. Its nature is wild, so it has to be studied in the wild. Our machines and experiments would meddle with it too much.
And like anything affecting the soul, it must be connected to essence. Thus, if she wishes to discover more about the Dream Scourge, a pillar of Adra would be a good place to start.
Ah, of course. The idea is a bit high-minded. Adra acts like a pathway for souls as they rejoin the wheel.
And the Dream Scourge is a plague of the soul, is it not?
So, just as Adra channels essence, so too may it provide a key to discovering more about the Dream Scourge. An entity, you say? If this entity is your patron, that's all perfectly natural. But if it's something else, with enough essence and a capable animancer, perhaps you could trace this tether back to its source.
Right, and with a little fresh sake, you can follow an ogre back to its lair. Still wouldn't recommend it.
Just be careful that your tether doesn't snap back and kill you in the process.
Now that we've researched the mind of a godlike, the next step is anatomy. But we've taken enough of your time. Farewell. Did you hear that Giatta was sent into exile?
Ugh, I might have dozed off there for a bit. Were any of those words the ones we needed?
Or we could do both. Anything to work with the great Giatta Castel.
Something the matter? I hope none of my colleagues scared you off. Good timing. I'm about ready to get started. So, did you learn anything of particular interest? That's the fun part of metaphysics. Everything is strange, but nothing is new. Look at us. Barely even started, and already we're making progress. Monto's machine is working, Elia will keep an eye on her revenants, and Yvette and Remy are providing us an alibi. Under the circumstances, the two are not so different. I needed those animancers for more than their expertise. Monto's invention nullifies spiritual interference. Having it up and running means we won't get any false signals. Whenever I tap into an Adra pillar, Elia's farmhands tend to get a little bitey. Thanks to you, they won't be a problem. And then there's Yvette and Remy, the governor's eyes and ears. In exchange for privacy, I gave them a test subject. I'd call that a good day's work. Now we just need the right equipment for the job. When my parents died, they left me their life's work. An invention like no other. The phantasmal focus. Think of it as a spiritual tuning fork, or a dowsing rod. It has many functions, some more obvious than others. The problem is it's in the basement. I haven't gone down there since the accident. Since they died.
I can't blame you for avoiding a place like that.
I would get it myself, but I'm not ready to face what's down there. Right now, I would rather focus on the work ahead of us. The door to the basement is just outside, around the corner. Of course, you'll need a key. Please excuse the mess.
That's where her parents died. I'm glad we can spare her from having to go back.
Okay, walking into the basement of an Animancer I just met. Right, feels great. Don't know what I expected, but this isn't it.
Haven from the blight. Who grows here?
I feel pretty certain that those people aren't supposed to be plants.
What a horrific fate.
Beauty reborn. A life of peace.
Guards. We can leave now, right?
Poor Giatta. To think she's been living with this right under her nose.
I don't. Anyone know what happened back there?
I think those were Giatta's parents, or whatever's left of them.
So they're dead?
You're back. You found it. You actually found my inheritance. Did you see my mother and father? Are they still there? I'm sorry. For what it's worth, I don't think you were in any danger. All that's really down there is an unhappy memory. One that keeps on growing. For the time being, that would be best. With the phantasmal focus, I can finally tap directly into the essence of the living lands. I can also use it to smack around anyone who gets in our way. Don't worry. It's more durable than it looks. Kind of like me. The only thing we're missing now is an Adra pillar. And I know the perfect one. Naku Tedek, the old godless ruin west of Fjord. There should be some equipment waiting for us. We used it to study the Adra pillar. Then some priests moved in and took offense at our work. I hope they haven't tampered with the equipment, or this will be a very short experiment. That rugged thing? It's as dry as a bone. Hardly any essence left. Even if it wasn't, I'm not exactly welcome in the workshop these days. Before we head out, let's make the most of our time in Fjord. No telling how long we'll be gone. And I hate to be a problem, but I do my best work in small groups. Chalk it up to performance anxiety. That was not my finest hour. I was so angry. Mistakes were made. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, I don't want there to be any mistakes. Works for me. This is a good opportunity to cleanse our place of rest. Spiritually, I mean.